Welcome back to Lingoni English. My name is Emily. Did you do things in the past that you no longer do now? Did you used to go to school? Did you used to not like certain foods that you like now? Well, in this video, we're going to look at past habits and states that are no longer true. There are a few different ways to say this in English, so let's take a look. First, let's look at used to and didn't used to. Sentences with used to are formed with the subject plus used to plus the base form of a verb. Didn't used to is formed subject plus didn't used to plus base form of the verb. Okay, so when do we use it? We use used to talk about past states that are no longer true. For example, I used to live in Oklahoma, but now I don't. I didn't used to live in Germany, but now I do. Be careful with didn't used to. There's no D at the end of use. Didn't used to. My sister used to hate olives, but now she likes them. I didn't used to feel sick after eating junk food, but now I do. Richard used to be afraid of dogs, but he's not afraid of them anymore. Oh my gosh, I didn't even recognize him. He used to have long hair, didn't he? There used to be a really great restaurant there, but now it's gone. I wonder what happened to it. We can also use used to talk about repeated past actions that are no longer true. For example, Chelsea used to smoke, but she quit. John didn't used to smoke, but now he does. I used to eat meat, but now I'm a vegetarian. Okay, now let's look at how to form some questions with used to. Again, with questions, there's no D at the end of use. Pay attention. Did she used to live here? Did she used to live here? Did you used to live in Colorado? Did she used to work at that ice cream shop? Now, in spoken English, you actually can't really hear the difference between used to and used to. For this reason, you might see a lot of native speakers messing this up. Listen for yourself. I used to eat meat. I didn't used to live in Colorado. It's hard to hear, right? One more thing. Many learners confuse be used to and get used to with used to. Now, they have very different meanings. And if you want to learn a little bit more about be used to and get used to, you can watch another video on that right here. All right, so that was used to. As I said in the beginning, there's more than one way to talk about repeated past states and actions that are no longer true. So let's look at the second way to talk about it, with would. We can use would plus the base form of the verb to talk about repeated past habits and actions that are no longer true. For example, when I was a kid, we would go on family vacation every summer. We would almost always go to the beach. We would have so much fun. I miss those days. Note that we often use would plus base form when we're telling a story about the past. Also, note that you cannot use would plus base form when talking about past states. So, you cannot say, she would have long hair. You need to say, she used to have long hair. If you say she would have long hair, that's actually in the conditional and it means something completely different. Again, you wouldn't say, I would love the playground at my old school. You would say, I used to love the playground at my old school. Okay, so the third way to talk about past habits, actions, and states can sometimes be to use the simple past. Take a look at this example. When I was a kid, we would go on family vacation every summer. We would almost always go to the beach, but one summer, we went to the mountains instead. We use the simple past here because it only happened once. The simple past does not show repetition. It also isn't clear that the action or state is no longer true, or emphasize the continuous nature of the action or the state. For example, I went to Scotland in 2011. This was one time, so don't use would or used to. Use the simple past. We can also use the simple past as an alternative to would or used to. Here are some examples. I used to always eat a big bowl of soup after arriving at my grandmother's house. I would always eat a big bowl of soup after arriving at my grandmother's house. I always ate a big bowl of soup after arriving at my grandmother's house. You can see here that all of these are repeated actions, but with the simple past, make sure you have a word like always to show time. Okay, so let's do a little practice. I'll give you a sentence, and you decide if it's correct or incorrect in describing a past action or state. Ella used to have long hair. Correct. I would go to Las Vegas for my 21st birthday. Incorrect. I went to Las Vegas for my 21st birthday. My 21st birthday only happened one time. I'll let you read this one first. Sam didn't used to like strawberries. Incorrect. That's a tricky one. But remember, with didn't, you take the D off of used. Sam didn't used to like strawberries. When I was a student, we would go to football games every weekend. Correct. Last one. She would like coffee, but now she does. Incorrect. She didn't used to like coffee, but now she does. Well, that's it. Now you know how and when to use used to, would, and the simple past to describe actions and states that were true in the past and are no longer true now. How about you give it a try yourself? In the comment section below, write a few sentences that are true for you using used to, didn't used to, would, and the simple past. Thanks for watching Lingoni English. We'll see you next time.